we're starting with question number 25 of the transformation worksheet. And just a second. Okay. So, yes, now it's okay. The diagram shows the graph of y equals fx, where fx equals 3/2 cos 2x plus half for x is between 0 to pi. State the range of f. So you have to state the maximum value of y and the minimum value of y for this graph. Okay. Now look at this, 3/2 cos 2x plus half. The only expression that is changing in value is cos 2x, because 3/2 is going to stay the same throughout and plus half is going to stay the same throughout. Cos 2x has a graph like this. Cos x has a graph like this. Cos 2x means two functions get completed in the same time. Two cycles get completed in the same time. So that's cos 2x, and cos 2x has a magnitude between 1 and -1. So the maximum value of cos 2x is 1, and the minimum value of cos 2x is -1. So what you'll do, instead of cos 2x, you'll substitute 1, and you'll get the maximum value here. And instead of cos 2x, you're going to substitute -1, and you're going to get the minimum value here. So that's what I'm going to do now. So it's going to be 3/2 times 1 plus half, which is what, 2? Yes. And 3/2 times minimum value of cos 2x is -1 plus half. So what is that? That's going to be -1. So then the range of fx is between 2 and -1. Let me check the answer. Yes, that is correct. So we will write fx is in between -1 and 2.
एक सेकंड, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया।
Okay. देखो इसकी रेंज बतानी है ना आपने,
Yep.
ठीक है? तो इसमें the maximum value cos 2x can have is 1, and the minimum value cos 2x can have is -1 from the graph of cos 2x. So replace cos 2x with 1 once, and that will give you the maximum possible value of this curve. And replace cos 2x with -1 later and get the minimum possible value of this curve.
Right.
So you get 2 or -1. So your graph will always lie between 2 and -1. So that's the range.
Okay.
All right. So that was part A. Let's just clear the rest of it. Okay. So this is function g is such that gx equals fx plus k. Can you tell me what this plus k will do to the graph of fx?
It's going to move upwards.
Yeah, it's going to move it up. Okay, where k is a positive constant. The x-axis is tangent to gx. So if this graph, the current graph that you see on the screen, if it's going certain units up and now the dip becomes tangent to the x-axis, that means it went 1 unit up, right?
Yeah.
So then what's the value of k? Say the value of k. So the value of k will be 1, because when this graph is pushed 1 unit up, only then it becomes tangent to the x-axis. Okay, so value of k is 1. So k equals 1, and describe fully the transformation that maps fx onto gx. So it went 1 unit up, so we're going to write translation by one unit up would be 0, right, left, 1 up. So translation by 0, 1. Or you could write translation 1 unit upwards parallel to the y-axis. That would also be correct. Okay. Part C, state the equation of the curve, which is the reflection of fx in the line x-axis. Give your answer in this format. Okay. So what happens to a curve when it is reflected on the x-axis? We've discussed it before.
Minus fx.
Exactly, minus fx. So what you do, you multiply this with negative sign throughout. So we have negative 3/2 cos 2x minus half. I think in the worksheet it says plus half, but that is a typing mistake. So just multiply that fx with -1 and you get the answer for 25C. Question 26. Slightly zoom this in. So in 26, it says function f and g and h are defined for all real values of x by this, and this. Let's not go into details yet. Describe fully a singular sequence of transformation that maps fx onto gx. Okay, now you tell me what's happening here. Okay. Start with the bracket term first. So tell me what is this transformation happening to fx? जब f 2x होता है, so what was the transformation? Do you remember?
It's stretch parallel to the x-axis.
You've missed the scale factor. What's the scale factor?
1 over.
Yes, perfect. So the first thing you start with is the bracket term. So it's going to be stretch parallel to the x-axis with scale factor half. I'm not writing it down. I hope it's all right. You can hear me fine.
Yeah.
So answer for this, the first part is it's a stretch parallel to the x-axis with scale factor half. And now you cater the +4. What is that doing?
Transformation by scale factor 4.
नहीं. Transformation नहीं होता, translation होता है when it's up or down or right and left. हाँ, translation by
0, 4.
either you write 0, 4, yes, or you write translation parallel to the y-axis 4 units up.
Okay.
Okay, that was part A. Now let's look at part B. Describe fully a sequence of transformation that maps fx onto hx. Okay, so let's account for what's inside the bracket first. It's x plus half pi. What's going on?
Translation
By
0, 1 over 2 pi.
9. When it's with x
Plus x. So it's to the left by 1 over 2 pi.
minus half pi, because you're going left.
Yes.
So it's indicated by the negative sign. So yes, so you're moving half pi units to the left. So you're going to write translation by minus half pi 0. And now what is
That's
happening
parallel to the y-axis
with
by
scale factor?
factor 2.
Scale factor 2, yes. And 2fx means that there's a stretch parallel to the y-axis with scale factor 2. Yes. Okay, moving on. $27. What did I do? Hold on. Don't know what are these blue lines. Question 27. Given that fx equals minus 3x squared plus 12x plus 2, the result of translating the graph y equals fx by minus 3, 1 is the graph of TL. Who did it? ठीक है, thank you. Okay. Express, sorry.
There's going to be a +3 with the x terms,
Yes.
and then +2 will become +1. No, it's gonna be +3.
Yes, let's first write this in terms of fx so that it makes more sense. So minus 3 means actually 3 to the right. So that is represented by opposite sign being added with the x step. So fx will become fx plus 3, which means moving the graph 3 units.
Doesn't it represent moving to the left?
Yes, and that is
Minus.
what we're doing. Yes, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Minus 3 means we're moving it to the left. However, in terms of fx, you have to write plus 3 with that. Okay, you write the opposite sign when you're moving along the x direction and then plus 1. So now it's relatively easier to apply this transformation of on fx. So every x term now becomes x plus 3 whole square plus 12x plus 3 and plus 2 plus 1. Let's quickly expand this minus 3a square plus 2ab plus b square. Then there's plus 12x plus 36 plus 3. So we have minus 3x square, then we have minus 18x plus 12x, which is minus 6x. Then we have minus 27 plus 36 plus 3, which is plus 12. Let me check the answer at the back as well. So 427 is 3x square minus 6x plus 12. No, minus 3x. Like 3x square is 13. That is 20 with 3x square. I think that's another typing mistake. Minus 3 and then x plus 3. I should be minus, but typing mistake. Okay. So that is question 27. Question 28. Let me just take a picture of this, otherwise I'll forget the typing mistake in the end. To fix this, this was minus 3x squared. Okay. The graph of y is equals to fx is transformed to the graph of f2x minus 3. Describe fully the two transformations that have been combined to give the resulting transformation. In many questions, they say describe fully the transformation in the correct order. So that's why I was asking you to address the bracket term first and then the non-bracket term. That is how the sequence are. So yes, if fx changes into f2x, then what is the transformation taking place?
It's stretched parallel to the x-axis with a scale factor of half.
Yes, very good. Followed by, what's happening here?
By 0 minus 3.
What by 0 minus
3? Translation.
Yeah. Translation by 0 minus 3, because minus 3 means the graph is going 3 units down. Okay, good. All right. Part B. The point 5, 6 lies on the transformed curve. The 5, 6 lies on the transformed curve. State the coordinates of the corresponding point on the original curve.
Is it going to be 2.5, 3?
देखते हैं हुआ क्या. There was an original curve और फिर उसको half से multiply किया गया and it was moved down as well, 3 units down, and you got a new curve. Now this point 5,6 is on the new curve, so you need to take it back. When you take
Acha,
it back,
it's on.
So now you're taking it back, so you're undoing that transformation. First you multiplied it with half, now you're going to multiply it with 2, and firstly you moved it 3 down, now you're going to move it 3 up. So 5 is going to be multiplied with 2 because that's in the x direction, so that is going to become 10.
10, 9.
Yes, 10,9, but let me check the answer as well. 10,9 is correct. Question 29. The graph of y is equals to fx is transformed to the graph of 3 minus fx. Describe fully the correct order, in the correct order, the two transformations that have been combined. So you start with this term with fx. What transformation changes fx into minus fx?
It's reflection on the x-axis.
Yes. So first it got reflected on the x-axis and then
It's translation by 0, 3.
yes, that is correct. All right. That's question 29. Question 30. I hope we're done soon. Hopefully. Okay, question 30. Express 2x square minus 8x plus 14 in this form. We've done it many times before.
Yep.
Can we skip it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to copy the answer. 3a 2x minus 2 whole square plus 3. Okay. The function f and g are defined by fx equals x square and gx equals this. This is in fact this, if you change it into completed square form. Describe fully a sequence of transformation that maps fx into gx. Okay, so now how did, making clear the order in which the transformation takes place. Okay, so now again, you have to address the bracket term. Yes.
So it's moving to the right by 2.
And
so it's translation by 2, 0.
okay,
And then it's a stretch by factor 2.
yeah, in y
X.
direction.
Yep. And then it's translation by 0, 3.
I think that's correct, but let me check. Why does it say it's just a translation by 2, 3? The answer is it's a translation by 2, 3. I'm pretty sure there's something missing. I'll check it and I'll get back to you. No, I think that is all there is. Like x square is changing into that. Hold on. Yes, there's something missing. I'll check from the marking scheme and then get back to you. पीछे गलत आंसर लिखा. जी ठीक है. Okay. Let me just take a pic. जी बेटे, जी खा लो.
Because you have 4 marks ka. So
हाँ. Yes, there's definitely something missing. Question 30. 1 second. This is translation 2, 3 that cannot be correct. Question 31. In the diagram, the graph of y is equals to fx is shown with solid lines, and the graph shown with broken line is transformation of y is equals to fx. Describe fully the two single transformations of y is equals to fx that have been combined to give the resulting transformation. Okay. The first thing that's different is that this is 1 unit and this distance is 3 units. So there's a vertical stretch by scale factor 3,
Yep.
right? So 3fx, I'm also doing part B along with it, right? 3fx for now. And here you have to describe it. So it's going to be vertical stretch by scale factor 3. Or you write, it's better to write stretch parallel to the y-axis with scale factor 3 because these are the exact wordings used in the marking scheme. So it's better to stick with that. So instead of saying vertical stretch, say stretch parallel to the y-axis. Okay, with scale factor 3. And then what is happening? So first it got stretched. So 1 became 3 and 2 became 6 and the other 2 became 6 as well. So all the values of y get multiplied with 3. So this is the first intermediate phase of the graph. And then what's happening to it?
Translation.
By
2
it's moving 2 units where
up. 1
1 unit in what direction?
upwards.
No, it's not. Dekho, when you multiplied this graph with 3, you get this graph. Now it's only going right.
Acha, that's right.
Okay?
Same.
So first we multiplied the graph with 3, and with that it also moves up because every value of y is getting multiplied with 3. So it got stressed in y direction. All right. Next, it's moving 30 units towards the right. And how many units is that?
2
No, isn't it 4? 4 right here. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. यहाँ से यहाँ गए 1,
Acha.
2, 3. It has moved 4 units to the right. So you write translation by 4, 0. And here you write -4.
ठीक है.
So we've done both A and B. In parts A and B and C, the graph shown with solid lines has equation y is equals to fx. The graph shown with broken line is transformation of fx. State in terms of fx the equation of the graph with the broken. Yes.
It's going to be f minus x.
Yes, because it's reflecting on the y-axis. State in terms of f the equation of the graph shown with broken lines. यहाँ क्या होगा?
Stretch parallel to the y-axis.
With scale factor?
2
Yes. But you write 2fx because that's the requirement of the question. They're not asking you to describe the transformation. They're asking you to write in terms of fx.
Right.
Just a second. क्या हुआ? Sorry. All right. Part C. State in terms of f the equation of the graph shown with broken lines. What's happening here?
I think ट्रांसलेशन एंड रिफ्लेक्शन दोनों हो रहे हैं.
मुझे तो लग रहा है it's just translation. It's moving right and then it's moving up.
अच्छा,
Just moving
राइट.
right and up. रिफ्लेक्शन हो रही होती ना तो यूं करके शेप चेंज हुई होती. It's not reflecting. Okay, so it's going 1, 2, 3, 4 units right. So that's going to be fx minus 4. And it's moving 1, 2, 3 up. So plus 3, this should be it. Going to check the answer. fx plus 4 minus.
-3 नहीं होना चाहिए. It's moving down.
अच्छा, sorry, मैं उल्टा लेके गई. Yes, you're right. So this is changing into this. Okay, so yes, it's going 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So that's fx plus 4. And then it's you moving 3 down, so minus 3. That is the correct answer. Okay. Question 33. The graph of y is equals to fx is transformed to the graph of 1 plus f half x. Describe fully the two single transformation which have been combined to give the resulting transformation. Okay, so address the half x first, the bracket term.
Stretch parallel to the x-axis by the scale factor of 2.
Yes.
And then translation by 0, 1.
Good. Let me check the answer. इसका भी आंसर गलत है. It should be 0, 1. It says 1, 0. This should be 0 and 1. So many mistakes. Question 34. Let's try to finish it within 10 minutes so that we don't have to restart. Okay, a curve has...
Same, right?
Sorry?
1 or
One
or -1 substitute कर दें.
Exactly, because the biggest value of cos 2x is 1 and the minimum value of this is -1. So 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5. And 3 times -1, which is -3 plus 2 is -1. So although they did not ask for the domain range, sorry, but it would be this. Let me check. Yes, 5 and -1 are the answers. Okay. Sketch the graph of that. Okay, from... I don't know if we've done that yet. I don't think so. We haven't done trigonometry. So we'll just go ahead and sketch it anyway. Okay, so the maximum value of this graph is 5. The minimum value of this graph is -1. It always helps to draw a central line. So the central line would be the mid value of 5 and -1, which would be 5 plus -1, which is 4, and then divided with 2, which is going to be 2. So the middle of these two would be 2. So it helps to draw a dotted line here. So the graph will be equally above 2 and below 2. Okay. Then it says between 0 to pi. So we have 0 here. The actual 0 is here, but you can project it on the dotted line. Then there's a pi by 2 here, and then there's a pi here. Pi is here, and pi by 2 is
Two
here.
cycles होंगे.
Sorry?
2 cycles होंगे.
2 cycles होंगे, but 2 cycles 2 pi तक होते हैं. This is just pi. So there will be 1 cycle of cos and cos graph. ओहो, मुझे लगता है मैंने पहले cos graph गलत बनाया हुआ था, sine का graph बनाया था. That's embarrassing, especially since it's being recorded. So cos x would look like this. It goes from 0 to pi. It's still between 1 and -1, so that part was correct. And cos 2x would mean 2 cycles within this domain. So now, since it's still pi, so you just draw one cycle since it's cos 2x. So one cycle from starting from here. So यूं करके कुछ graph होगा. Let me show you the graph at the end. Yes. So look, a central line at 2, minimum value at -1, maximum value of 5, and then you draw one cycle between 0 to pi. And there would actually be two cycles between 0 to 2 pi, but your domain ends at pi. So yeah, that's
Right.
okay. Okay, we've sketched the graph by considering the straight line y is equals to kx, where k is a constant. State the number of solutions of this equation, 3 cos 2x plus 2, which is the graph that we plotted, and is equals to kx, which is a straight line that we will now draw. So we're going to draw a straight line over our graph and see how many points of intersections are there. The straight line is y is equals to kx. Now in the first part, it's -3. So y is equals to -3x. -3 means a very steep slope. M is -3, so it's pretty steep. It's going to go like this. It's a negative slope. That means it's going to be a falling slope. You can remember y equals mx plus c.
Yep.
This is y equals -3x plus 0. C was the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 0. The graph cuts the y-axis at 0. And then there's a very steep line going downwards. So there's no point of intersection. So for the first one, there's 0 solution. There's no solution between the straight line and the curve. Okay, for the second part, k is 1. So when k is 1, our graph would have a less steeper slope. It'll go like this. And now it's a positive slope because it's y equals 1x plus 0. So it's going to be a rising slope. And if it's a falling slope, if it's negative slope, then it's falling. If it's a positive slope, then it's rising. So there are 2 points of intersection in this case. Next is k is equals to 3. So y is equals to 3x is going to be a rising line, but a very steep rising line. So now there's only 1 point of intersection. So the answer for part 3 is 1. 0, 2, and 1. Let me check the answers as well. 0, 2, and 1. Yes. Describe fully the sequence of transformation that maps fx into hx. Okay. I did not read that, but this is what they're saying. अच्छा नहीं पहले तो D करना है. fx into gx. Okay, so fx is being changed into this. Quickly, which 2 transformation?
There's a stretch
Hmm.
to the parallel to the x-axis by a scale factor of half. And then there's translation. It's moving 4 units up, so 0, 4.
Let's check. Horizontal stretch, which is stretch in the direction of x-axis, that's correct by scale factor half. And the horizontal stretch by scale factor of half by translation not mentioned. अल्लाह ये तो सारा ही मुझे सही करना पड़ेगा. Okay. And yes, and then it was moving 4 units up, so 0, 4. Okay, describe fully a sequence of transformation that maps fx onto hx.
There's stretch parallel to the y-axis.
No, that comes later.
Yeah.
So
there's a translation of pi by 2 to the left.
So minus
So
pi.
minus pi by 2, 0.
Huh.
And then there's a stretch in the y-axis parallel to the y-axis by a scale factor of 2.
Okay. Let's quickly do question 35. We have to write that in completed square form, which we'll just do by looking at the answers, which aren't very reliable, as we just figured out, but it'll be x plus 3 whole square minus 4. Looks good. X plus 3 whole square minus 4. Okay, we're not doing the quadratics part. Part B. What transformation is that?
First, there's translation. It's moving to the left, so minus 3 by 0.
No, you
Minus
can write the transformation together.
Acha. So minus 3 minus 4.
Yes, translation by minus 3 minus 4. Let me check the answer. Yes. All right. So that's all from this worksheet. So I'll see you on Monday next, and we will do integration. Is it smart to start integration without doing the other topic, differentiation? Do you think you'll be able to handle it if you remember derivation? It's not.
Yep.
You can. Chalo, theek hai, then we'll start with integration on Monday, inshallah. All right, take care. Sorry?
कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री नहीं करना था पहले.
Oh, हाँ, coordinate geometry करें. ठीक है, बिल्कुल सही.
ठीक है.
Okay, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Yes.